Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. We're broadcasting to you live from the Dallas KFXR 1190 AM Clear Channel Studios, streaming to you on iHeart Radio app, and if you're outside the borders of the United States, streaming to you on yorbamedia.com. All right, we're going to move this over to the music industry. Tom Brophy, founder and CEO, CUR Media, and curmusic.com is the website. Tom, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Michael. It's great to be here.
It's my pleasure. I was just looking at your bio and your background. Wonderful accomplishments that you've got. Let's get this out. OTC Bulletin Board, CURM is your symbol, right?
Correct.
All right. Tom, I'm so enthused with being you. I'm about to open up a huge genre for music for our network here, too, and it's just amazing the timing that we would have you on the show. Please, if we can, let me pause for a moment, give you a time to give us your background, the wealth of experience you bring to the table for your company and to our show, but also what your company does. What does, and I want to get the proper pronunciation for it, CUR Media.
Yes, it's Cure Media.
Thank you.
So CUR, the U has an umlaut, hence the Cure. Media, the symbol is CURM. And I'll tell you a little bit about the company first. We are in the streaming music space, which is a very quickly growing sector of the music space, and I'll talk a little bit about the industry in a bit. But what we're doing is building a next-generation music platform, and it's a music streaming platform. Initially, we'll be on the iPhone, Android, and on the web, but ultimately on many other platforms, as you might imagine. Automobiles is a big target in terms of getting into the dashboard, and then there's lots of audio equipment that we'll also be focusing on. But Cure, at its core, again, is a music streaming product. We're currently in development, and what we're building is a hybrid internet radio product / on-demand product. So we sit between the Pandoras of the world, which are kind of the free ad-supported products, and the on-demand products like Spotify, Rhapsody, Rdio, etc., and Beats Music. So we're building a hybrid approach, which has it has an internet radio product at its core with a little bit of on-demand. And, we like to call this the next generation because we think a couple of things. One, users and consumers of music mostly like to have a lean-back experience, but we think they want a taste of on-demand as well. They don't need a full on-demand product, but we believe that most consumers want a taste of on-demand. And the other side of the next generation is that we're building social tools into the product, like photos and personal video, and things that will really help make this product social and stimulate sharing across our core demographic, which is really the 12 to 34 is the age group, is the demographic that we're targeting. But the 12 to 18 and 18 to 24 are really the two key pieces of that demographic that we're targeting.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
I was just going to close that out by saying, and we're currently developing the product, and we do plan to launch in the fourth quarter of this year.
Good. I can't wait to be out. Please, when you launch, I would love to have you come back and I want to talk to you offline sometime about what we're doing too. But let me do this, and thank you for explaining what your company does, what Cure Media does. But let's build a little something for our audience with what you've done. I understand you started at Deloitte. And
I did, yes.
And you were CFO of several startups. Walk us through your success story of Tom Brophy.
Okay, yeah, we'll do. So I did. I started at Deloitte & Touche out of school. I was an auditor for about 6 years, which was lots of fun. And it was 1994. I joined my first startup, and it was a company called Health Partners. When I joined, there was no revenue, so it was a brand new startup looking to get things off the ground, and worked with some great people. And we ended up we did several acquisitions over the course of 3 or 4 years, and we were able to grow the company to about $250 million in revenue. And then it was late 1997 we sold the company. I remained after the sale for, I guess, about a year and a half. And then in early 99, I joined my first internet company, which was a company called Promotions.com in New York City. And I was their CFO. We ended up in the summer of 99 doing a private round, pretty big private round. And then we went public in September. So literally I joined in April, closed the private round, and then we went public. It was quite a few 6 months, I'll say. So after that, I guess it was about a year and a half, 2 years later, I joined a company called i1.com, and i1 was a very high-profile portal. They had raised, prior to me arriving, about $200 million of capital. The other side of that is they had spent $200 million of capital. So they were in the midst of a round as I joined. And I remember this was the Monday after Thanksgiving in the year 2000. I joined the company, and literally at our Christmas party a month later, I was sitting down with our co-CEOs telling them how bad everything was. And it really was bad. That was when the internet bubble was really just bursting. So long story short, we had to completely restructure the company. And we did that over the next really 3 to 9 months. And we ended up getting the company to break even. And then in 2002, we developed a search toolbar product. We struck a big deal with Google for them to provide search results. And we also had many other search providers as well, but Google was by far the largest. And we were the first ones to mass distribute the search toolbar. And we were also the first ones to mass distribute smiley emoticons. And they spread like wildfire. People started including smileys in their emails. And we like to joke around that we had a group in our basement, actually, in the office, who all they did all day long was design smileys. It was pretty cool to watch. But anyways, within a very short period of time, so 18 months or so, we grew the company to $150 million in revenue and $50 million in EBITDA. And that was about the time when Ask Jeeves bought the company. And then subsequently Ask was bought by Interactive, and those assets actually still reside in Barry Diller's company, Interactive Corp. So that was an interesting opportunity, particularly the way it played out. I mean, we were almost out of business, and then we turned it around and made it into a great success. And I did a few things after that, but and then I ended up in the here in the music space, and I'll tell you a little bit about that, I guess. Someone I knew, an affiliate, approached me to invest in a music idea that he had. So I helped him with strategy, and ultimately we ended up becoming partners. And the first thing that we built, we did a pretty quick test and decided, it's just not a mass market product. The world was moving towards streaming music. And we decided to build a company or a product called Ratataz, which was a DMCA-compliant streaming music product similar to Pandora. And we launched it in beta in 2012, and then quickly, improved it, several different iterations. And we saw the way this space was evolving and decided to continue with Ratataz for a while, but we were also thinking about the bigger opportunity in the space. And the bigger opportunity is what we're doing right now, which is Cure Media. And Cure is going after the subscription market in the on-demand / hybrid internet radio streaming space. So I'll stop right there and let you jump in. I've been talking for a little bit here.
No, I appreciate that. Let's do this. We got about a minute left in this segment. When we come back after the break, I'd like to get your expertise of the current state of the music industry and how Cure fits into the music space. All right?
Sounds great.
I will be right back with Tom Brophy, founder, CEO, Cure Media, symbol CURM, OTC Bulletin Board, and special thanks to Monk Media and 1-800 Public Relations for all their PR and media support. We'll be right back with Tom Brophy. Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. Broadcasting to you live from the Dallas KFXR 1190 AM Clear Channel Studios. Streaming to you on iHeart app, and if you're outside the borders of the United States, you can pick us up on yorbamedia.com. I'm joined on our show this morning with Michael Pruitt, CEO, I made a mistake, pardon me, Tom Brophy, CEO, Cure Media. Symbol on that is CURM. Tom, you are, without a doubt, an industry leader in the music business. You're an innovator in technology, in delivery systems, and obviously the right guy to ask for the current state of the music industry. And then I would, if we could, because I know you've got something that you're going to launch here in about the fourth quarter, how does Cure fit into the music space? If you could walk us through that, I'd really appreciate it.
Great. Sure. So as I mentioned before, we look at the streaming space. And by the way, streaming is really emerging in the two things that have been carrying the industry for a while, the sale of CDs and the sale of downloads, so song downloads and album downloads, they're both declining. And CDs, I think you could probably say sales are plummeting. Right. Sales of downloads, song downloads, they declined in 2013 from 2012, and then in the first quarter they were down 13%. So they're really starting to decline, and the decline is accelerating. So we believe that the world is moving towards streaming music or music access, where you can access your music from the cloud anywhere on any device. So, in the streaming space, there are really two sectors. One is the free ad-supported side with companies like Pandora, iHeart, and iTunes rolled out Apple iRadio a while ago. So those are really the three prominent companies on that side of the spectrum. And if anyone's used those products, you realize that they're a bit restrictive in that you can't see what's coming, so you can't really see the playlist. You can only skip a certain number of times, and you can't go back and replay a song that you just heard.
Exactly.
So the reason those products are restricted is they have to comply with the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, in order to get a favorable rate structure. So the rates are actually statutory rates, and as large as Pandora is, so they have 76 million monthly unique users, they literally don't generate a whole lot of revenue for the music industry. When I say the industry, I mean generally for the labels and the artists and songwriters and so forth. So it's surprising, as large as they are, they have a quarter of the U.S. population on board, but not generating a whole lot of revenue because of that statutory rate structure. On the other side of the spectrum, we have the full on-demand products like Spotify, Rhapsody, Beats Music came out earlier this year and has been in the news quite a bit. And those products are typically $10 per month for full on-demand. You can listen to generally anything you want, anytime, as many times as you want. All great products, but the issue that we see with the model is that you're asking consumers to pay $120 per year when the average consumer spends around $20, $24 per year on recorded music. So we think by definition that's a niche business going after a very small percentage of the population. And that's where we come in with our hybrid model. We believe that the mass market resides somewhere in the middle there, and consumers crave a lean-back experience with, like I said before, a taste of on-demand. And the other interesting thing about the space, and which is kind of validation of the momentum that this sector has, Pandora is really the only pure-play public company in this space. Their value has fluctuated between $4 and $6 billion, or $4 and $7 billion over the last several months. So there's a lot of value there, And then Spotify on the on-demand side is their most recent private round was at a $4 billion valuation, and word is that they're planning to go public. So, Cure Media, CURM, is really the only other pure play public company in this space.
So, how do you see you competing with your competition? I mean, you have new products. You think it's going to give you bigger market share and more innovative leads. Bring that out.
Yeah, so we're doing some innovative things with the product, and we believe that this hybrid model is very appealing. We've done a lot of research actually, and learned. We're thinking about it from a consumer experience. So let's put a product forward that has the best consumer experience that it could possibly have, and features and functionality that consumers want. And that's really what we're focused on. We researched it. That's the way we're designing it. We're also designing it with simplicity in mind to create a successful product like this. It's got to be simple. It's got to be intuitive, immersive. Users need to come in and understand how to use it. And, our application is going to be all about taps and swipes and voice. So, not really pressing buttons, just swiping, using gestures to move the screen. So, we're creating an innovative product with social tools that this generation craves. We like to say we're taking the three most social things on this earth, photos, personal videos, and music, and putting them together. So that's a little bit about how we plan to enter this market.
Is there anybody else trying this?
Not to our knowledge. Not to our knowledge. We believe that we're the only ones coming out with this type of model. We're currently in discussions and negotiations with the music labels, as we have to have the rights to use the content. So no, we believe that this is kind of an innovative and disruptive model.
Believe me, many accolades for being first to market with that. Let me steer it just a little bit because I'm looking at John Lack and Bob Jameson. You brought those two. John Lack created MTV, for those of you who don't know, and was it Bob Jameson and is also on your board of directors. He ran RCA Records and signed Dave Matthews and many others. They're involved. They're on your board of directors. Bring that out for a minute. We've got about 4 minutes left in the interview.
Okay. Yeah, I'm honored to be hanging out with such cool guys. Yeah, so I'll start with Bob because I've known Bob longer. I met Bob, I guess, about 3 years ago, and he's been an advisor to the company ever since. Really cool guy, nice guy. He's been in the music industry for 30 years. He, as head of RCA Records, by the way, he was responsible for the turnaround of RCA, and I believe there's a Harvard Business School case study on that. Real interesting guy. He signed Christina Aguilera, Dave Matthews, Kings of Leon, David Gray, Justin Timberlake back when he was with NSYNC. So just a very well-known and smart guy in the music business. So John Lack, John created lots of cool things. MTV, Nickelodeon, the movie channel, ESPN2 is on his resume. He was founding chairman of the V Foundation for Jim Valvano. So he's done a lot of cool things. And John is a very creative and a visionary. And we've worked closely together for the last year and a half, the three of us actually, on really honing this model and going after this major opportunity in the music space. And they were both instrumental in helping us get here. Actually, another cool guy that we just brought on, actually as an advisor for a little while, but likely we'll bring on full time at some point. A guy named Jay Clark, who is a famous radio programmer, and also was I think the first radio programmer at Sirius XM, and rose up through their ranks and is responsible for 160 stations or something like that. So we've got some deep industry talent on board here, which has been very, very helpful.
Yes, a stellar team. We're down to our last minute in the interview, Tom. I've got to run, but please, is there anything that you'd like our audience to do as they experience what you've created in a more in-depth fashion?
Yeah, this is a space that is growing dramatically, and and again, we see a huge opportunity here as the world moves towards streaming music.
All right, we've got to run. Tom, thank you so much. I want to have you come back so we can do a second part, and you can keep us abreast of what's happening in the music business.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Tom Brophy, founder and CEO, Cure Media, curmusic.com, symbol CURM. And special thanks to Monk Media and 1-800-PublicRelations.com for all their PR and media support. Come back at 2 to 3. Listen to our market commentary. We're on again later on this afternoon. Thank you.